Hey guys, this is Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and when I first grabbed this video, I was thinking about dropping it on my B channel. If you guys haven't seen that, it's Woody's Outtakes. You can check it out. And I thought I'll just render this up, put it over there, and otherwise I would have thrown it away. And then as I watched it again, I thought I'd talk about it some more. So, camping, it's a legitimate strategy. I'll say that out front. And I know that's going to make a lot of people mad, but the key to headquarters is map control. And I want to throw out that this other team, they were, this is one of those magic lobbies where it was easy to do well. So yeah, anyway, that's probably why I did well. The key to the headquarters is map control. That's what I was starting to say. So one of the first things I did in this is grab a power position and kill everyone who was trying to head over to the headquarters. And my role on this team this time is main slayer. And normally on my teams, I'm the guy who stands right on the bomb. Normally on my teams, I try to cap, I try to defuse and things like that. I'm a bomb planter. And while it's not good for your KD, it helps win, and I don't really care about my KD, so it's no big deal. Another thing, but what happened on this night was I think I had a couple bad games in a row. And it's hard to have really good games unless you're at the peak of your game. And also be the guy that plants and diffuses, or in this case, captures and destroys. So I just assigned myself a role where I could get a more flattering kill-death ratio, and this is what happened. So I know Wings of Redemption has that Woody's Gamertag challenge, or I think Woody's challenge, and he shows how he can play the objective and do well. And he's right. You know, that a really strong player can do both. A really strong player can get a KD that's over 2 and still play the objective. However, I'm right too in that that same strong player would get a KD that's like 4 or 5 if he didn't play the objective. And I know there's a couple YouTube commentators who actually do that. Who just ignore the objective all the time. They're real upfront about it. Look at these idiots. They're real upfront about it, and they say, look, I'm not an objective player. If you put me in something other than team deathmatch, I play team deathmatch anyway. And that's how they get those KDs that they have. That guy had a good strafe. They kept missing him. So, that's not what I do. When you put me in an objective-based game, I'll throw the KD out and go for the win. So I went to the MLG gaming event, and I've got some home movies of that. I think I'm going to show you guys what I saw. I think you'll like it. And it was neat to see these guys play for the win. So, when you're an MLG Halo player, you don't care about your KD at all. No more than, it's hard to get a lot done when you're dead. So, did you see that? I shot somebody's C4. I got lucky. It's hard to get a lot done when you're dead. So these guys will care about their KD in that respect. And I was hearing about some of the team history and stuff because there were guys there who knew all about it. And there was one guy, strong side, I think, and he was thrown off final boss. Look at this guy, I'm invisible. So he was thrown off. And apparently this guy, what he did, or at least they told me he did, is he would he'd go for MVP awards a lot, and he would have these strong KDs. But when the team needed to push, he wouldn't push. He would just let them die. And it was like he was a good slayer, and he always had good stats. But he was a stat whore. So this guy, who was actually the top player rated at most of these things, when you look at the stats, he got kicked off his team because his team kept getting 6th and 7th and such. And after they kicked him off and got a more objective-based player, they won tournaments. And I think that team was final boss. Although I'm sure there's 6,000 of you that will tell me the history of strong side and where he actually was and correct me. But that was the story I was told, and I thought it was really interesting. It was like, wow, here they took this guy who has the best numbers in the league and tossed him off their team because he wasn't playing the objective like he needed to in an objective-based game. So yeah, interesting. And what I'm doing here, is a role where I'm kind of being the slayer. I'm trying to work map control. I'm trying to it's bad shooting. I'm trying to keep these guys away from our cap point and knock them off. I waited to call the predator until just after we capped this thing, because not the predator, the Pavlo, because I wanted to have this thing up doing work even though I was dead. And I forget if it works out like that or not, but that's the notion. If you have something like a Pavlo or a Harrier, wait until you've capped it, then drop it, and that way, even when you're dead, you can still be helping your team out with your kill streak. So as far as the video itself, it's a fairly defensive game, and like I said, I worked the defensive game because I was starting to get down a little bit on this night, because when I was standing right on the flag, I just, you know, you're in a vulnerable spot sometimes. I wasn't able to control the engagement. Everyone knows right where you are, and it got me some deaths. And I was like, all right, so tonight, or at least this game, I'm going to, you know, take it easy a little bit and get the engagements that I need to get a high score. It made me feel better. I think I did better a couple games after this too. Got my head on straight, which was the goal, really. So, oh, right there, did you see? I saw that guy die, and then I trusted the UAV too much, and that's what you get. So, yeah, that guy had cold-blooded. I sat there and watched him kill someone, and then decided that he must have, that guy had a good strafe, and decided that I must have, you know, been crazy or something, or maybe that guy that died was on my team because the UAV was clear, so I over-depended on it. It's an easy mistake to make. My shot came off. It was so good for most of this game, and you know, missed a few shots. But yeah, so if there's any takeaways on this as far as gameplay tips, it's control the engagement. You need map control on this. It's, look at that, Saved by the Bell. They you need to own this map. It's a lot like domination in that you sort of set up a perimeter and don't let them enter it, and that's how you get your win. And that's what we were doing here. I was just, you know, owning them as they tried to approach, and that way the guys on the bomb site had a lot fewer people to deal with than they would otherwise.